Hi, I am Payal Mazumdar from Lexis and Company. Today we talk about the topic of International Court of Justice. Let us talk about what are the major facts under this. The International Court of Justice is the principal judicial organ of the United Nations. The ICJ is also known as the World Court, established on June 1945 by the Charter of the United Nations. The seat of the court, the Peace Place in Netherlands, and the official language used by this in English or in French, and the compositions are 15 judges elected for terms of 9 years by the United Nations General Assembly and the Security Council. Now, what are the brief history under this? In 1899, the first permanent body of settling international disputes, the Permanent Court of Arbitration, was established by the Howe Peace Conference. And in 1911 to 20, following World War I, the need of establishing an international judicial organ was felt. The statute of is the establishment of permanent court of ICJ was adopted in 1920. In 1933 to 40, decline in the activities of PCIJ due to increasing global tension culminating in the World War II. This effective put an end of the court, which issued its last order in 1940. In 1945 to 46, PCIJ converted for the last time and was formally dissolved with the establishment of ICJ and the election of its first president, Jose Godoy, in April 1946. In 1947, first case submitted in the International Court of Justice by the United Kingdom against Albania. Now, what are the memberships under this? According to Article 35 of the Statute of the International Court, all parties to the statute are entitled to appear before the International Court of Justice. According to Article 93 of the United Nations Charter, all members of United Nations are IPSO facto parties to the statute. Therefore, the ICJ is open to all 193 members countries. States which are not member of the United Nations may become parties to the statute of the court on conditions to be determined in each case by the General Assembly up to the recommendation of Security Council. And the court may also be open to other parties subject to conditions to be laid down by the UN Security Council. Now, what are the jurisdiction under this? First one is contentious jurisdiction and the second one is advisory jurisdiction. In contentious jurisdiction, court settles legal disputes submitted to it by states. Only state can be parties to contentious cases. Article 36 of the Statute of ICJ provide for this jurisdiction. Jurisdiction of the court is based on the consent of the parties which submit to it, and decision given by the court are binding. Advisory jurisdiction talks about Article 96 of the UN Charter provide that the UN General Assembly or the Security Council may seek an advisory opinion or any legal question. Other specialized agencies may also be authorized by the UN General Assembly to request such advisory opinion. Advisory opinions are not binding but are of general advantage. Now, what are the functions of the International Court of Justice? First one is to settle international legal dispute submitted by states. Second one is to proffer advisory opinions requested by the specified UN organs and agencies. And the last one is to serve as a source of international law. Now, there are some limitations also. Decision of the International Court of Justice are not enforceable by the court itself, have to be adjudicated by the UN Security Council. The ICJ does not enjoy full separation of powers, and permanent members of the UN Security Council may veto enforceability of decisions they had earlier consent to. The Nauri versus United States case is an example where the United States refused to accept the decision of ICJ. Other existing international courts are working independent of the United Nations. Thus, there is a lack of integration in structure. Now, as the only international organization of its kind in the world, the ICJ is undoubtedly to supreme importance in upholding law and order and the principle of justice in around the globe. A brief study of ICJ reveals the depth of its significance. However, like every organization, the court too has its fair share flaws which are required to be remedied and for its constituents its position of indissemblability. It can only be hoped that the court will move towards fairer practices and improved mechanism with time and hence continue to preserve harmony in civilized society. Thank you all. If any of the query regarding this topic, then please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much.